Do you?
No,
I hope
in
so.
my head, I made it up.
At least it's not voices, right? Got to keep
Well,
those quiet.
they do
Uh,
sing. They do sing.
so this is how the show goes, by the way. If you were wondering, I do a stupid show and it's wonderful. So we start off, everybody. Before I even introduce you, we're going to ask you the question of the week. And this week, I have a little graphic even.
Ooh, a graphic.
Ta-da! There we go.
What
Question of the
old
week.
person things do I do? Oh, I have old people things that I do. I'm trying to think what they are. What is it that my kids make fun of me about? Old people things. Mm.
That
Oh,
sounds probably.
so yeah, I make noises like that. I say things like hunky dory and
Okay.
cool beans, which are dated now, and
Are they?
they are dated. Yes. Yeah, nobody says those anymore except for old people now, I guess. People over 55 usually, and I'm only 51, but I apparently am going, oh, I
I see.
still like Lawrence Welk and will watch it once in a blue moon. Well, especially during COVID, I don't travel anymore because like
Mm-hmm.
there's nothing to go to. And Lawrence Welk will play at like 7 p.m. on a Saturday night. So in between working at my office or swimming or doing whatever or going out for the evening, I'll turn it on and watch it for a little bit.
So, those who don't know who Lawrence Welk is, can you explain who Lawrence Welk is? Because I'm going to
Yes,
be honest,
Lawrence.
I'm 35. I had no idea who this gentleman was.
I thought you were older because you were bald. Damn it. Oh, darn it.
Ah,
He's actually a cutie bug, super young 35-year-old. That's awesome. So Lawrence Welk is an older gentleman who had a variety show where he would have orchestra and couples come on and sing songs together. And when I was a young girl, I was a only child and a lonely child, so I would go spend the night at my grandparents' house so I could go to church with them in the morning, so I could have something to do on a Saturday night. And we would watch Lawrence Welk, and then my grandparents would go to bed, and I would watch The Love Boat and Fantasy Island and Saturday Night Live, which was in those days as were so had such oh mm, controversial topics. It was kind of like watching, adult shows, late at night. And so that was my Saturday Night Live, Saturday Night Life, I should say. Yeah.
how far we've come, right? Holy
Yes.
cow.
Yeah.
Lawrence
So
Welk,
Lawrence
by the way.
Welk, go
Yeah,
ahead.
go ahead.
I was just saying the songs were, just beautiful ballads and so forth. And sometimes they do a funny little joke piece, but usually just ballads and dancing. And, it was just beautiful old people show.
That's fantastic.
Still love it.
From what I've been told, I believe the Lawrence Welk show was actually the first place that Scott Page from Supertramp and Pink Floyd, I believe that's the first place he ever played trumpet on stage. And I think he was 6 years old at the time. Anyway.
Oh my gosh, I totally probably saw that, and I'm friends with Scotty, so that's funny. I'll have to go back and ask him about that. A friend of mine, his one of his greatest highlights in his life, his name is Ron Seaver. He's one of the best known sponsorship guys for sports in the world. He, as a national sports forum, he got to walk Lawrence Welk out onto the play field for a game for some kind of sponsorship thing. And it was funny because we were at a convention and he put the picture up on the screen and he goes, okay, a prize for the person who knows who this is. And crickets, even though everybody was
Really?
older. And I'm like, Lawrence Welk, Lawrence Welk. So there's my old
Oh,
people thing. It was
that's
hunky dory.
fantastic. Well, I say cool beans all the time, and I'm young, sure.
Oh,
um,
okay. Well, maybe it's a having a comeback.
I don't know. So let's talk about who you are, Andrea, and what you do. The redcarpetconnection.com/free gift if you want to find out more about that stuff. But what do you actually do? Who are you? And what's your purpose in the world?
Well, I have multiple purposes, but the number one that it builds all the way around is relationships. And how relationships are built are through connections, through smiles, through collaboration and joint ventures and showing up in the world. So the Red Carpet Connection is a publicity and business consulting business. It's all about public relations and events and getting people seen and noticed and heard. Because I had mentioned I was an only child, lonely child. And so for me, growing up, it was really important. How do I show up so people can hear me and see me? And once I achieved that, first of all, I achieved that by I volunteered all the time, because if you volunteer, people like you. And if you volunteer a lot, then you get leadership positions and they like you more. And you get really great experience and knowledge. And then from there, I went into law enforcement and loved it. I worked in corrections and at the police department as a 911 dispatcher, and then left that to study psychology and created a business called Ignite Your Relationships, which is or Ignite Your Relationship, which is all about connecting with people and having really good personal and professional relationships. And I got myself on CNN and 2020 and all this really cool stuff in the early 90s. And that's before we could record it or have, any, and we did have video players at that time we could record, but you had to know you were going to be on. And I always got preempted for something that was going in the news. So I never got to record any of those things. And because I did well in publicity, people started saying, hey, Andrea, can you help me with my publicity? And so the Red Carpet Connection was born. And that's what I do. And then from that, we were creating a lot of smiles in the world. And I met a gentleman named Ken Rochon, who's a celebrity event photographer. And he had just met a gentleman named Barry Shore, who was passing out these cards that say, keep smiling. And Ken said, hey, I want to take these cards and make a viral movement out of smiles and the keep smiling card. Barry said, yay, go for it. And Ken said, Andrea, I need help me. So I jumped in. This was in 2015 that this all started. And we've been taking pictures of people smiling all over the world. And then I created Ken's dream of making it viral into a keep smiling movement. And here we are. And that's me. I'm all about smiles, love, and relationships.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. A lot of people are afraid to have real relationships. They get bogged down. And one of my mentors in my life, you probably don't know him, but Dean Hankey. I
do know him.
Do you know Dean?
Okay. I know Dean. Dean actually gave my friend Ken Rochon a pair of cufflinks that look like Ken's Umbrella Syndicate symbol. It's like an umbrella with like little triangles within it. And we were together. We met at an event in Reno with Jennifer Baker 2 years ago or 3 years ago. 3 years ago. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, Dean, he's been a mentor of mine for years, and actually, he lived in my head for a long time because Dean's a very promotion-oriented guy. He talks like a old Carney pitchman.
I love it. Step right up.
Yeah, that's exactly it. But he's been a showman for 40 years, 50 years, whatever it is. And
excellent magician.
The first interaction I ever had with him, he was doing his Carney pitch type stuff with a lot of capitals and stuff. And I put below it, and it comes with a free pair of steak knives. And in my mind, I had insulted him, of course, but he didn't remember this. And it was 10 years before I talked to him ever again. So the relationship thing that he really gets on is you have to build real relationships. And that's how he spells it, REAL. Relationships, because without the real relationships, you're not going to get anywhere, right?
Actually, if I think about it, I think, I changed the title on. Oh, no, here it is. A book I wrote a long time ago, Putting the Sizzle in Your Business Relationships.
Yep, that's exactly it.
Yeah, and that's when I used to wear black. I only wear red now.
Carney Pittman in you too. So how do people start? How do people start building the relationships to actually achieve some bigger things? And why?
Well, part of building relationships, it's been interesting throughout the years. I mean, so for me, I had to learn how to have relationships because I only had relationships with older people because I didn't have people my own age around me. And so I had to really figure out how do I connect with people because I was awkward in school. I wanted to belong and didn't really fit in. And so I had to observe in order to figure it out. And so part of relationships was showing up and being there. So I just started going into things, and learned how to be able to be by myself and be comfortable in my own skin and be okay with being there and not being with a group or not going with a friend, and making friends while I was there and waiting for an opportunity for people to be laughing or talking. And I just kind of stand and watch. And then there's a certain strategy to being able to see who makes eye contact with you. And I literally still to this day will make jokes, like somebody will say something to me and I'll say, and I'll see them look at me or whatever, and I'll say, "Oh, you made eye contact with me. That means I get to know you first," or and make a joke out of it. And I now know no stranger. I talk to everyone everywhere I go, maybe whether they want to be talked to or not. And it works for me. It doesn't work for everyone. And at the same time, I also let people know that building relationships, if you're an introvert, you don't have to be an extrovert like me in order to make connections and great people. Introverts are some of the smartest, wonderfulest people. You just need to give them time. They're usually thinking, processing, and observing. Let them have that moment. They'll let you talk, and then they'll decide to share when they're ready. And so letting them be who they are and embracing that for yourself, whether you're the introvert or someone else, allows them to feel comfortable. And then when they're ready to talk, they will.
That's fantastic. My personal history is I hate almost everyone. Now that sounds bad, but it's not that I hate them. I hate talking to people, and it scared me for years and years and years, just in my upbringing. How often, when you're talking to people, do you get told no? How often are they just straight up, "No, I don't want to talk to you. You're a weirdo. Leave me alone"?
I don't know that that's ever happened, really.
There's a reason I asked.
I suppose it has. I don't think anybody's ever called me a weirdo. I was called a knucklehead once, but actually we have a great relationship now, and he's doing a book with us. So so me being weird or a knucklehead worked. It's part of being authentic and real. I know I can be dorky or seem off, but that actually is why people like me, is because I'm real. I can laugh at myself. I'll be the butt of anybody's joke any day, because why not? If I can't laugh at me, how can I not go through the day without a smile on my face doing that? And there's just a process to building relationships and being able to accept no. And to me, a no is a no. A no really is that I didn't present myself in a way that the other person felt comfortable. And if I just change that up and readdress them in a different way or at a later date, they'll eventually love me. And if they don't, well, I'm sad for them, because I'm really awesome.
Well, the reason I ask that is because a lot of people are afraid of that rejection, and are afraid of talking to somebody and being considered strange or a weirdo or leave me alone, right? That's why I said the weirdo word, because I think we all need to get over that fear, especially with how society is right now, to actually talk to the people around us. And the only thing that's going to cure what's happening right now in society, in Canada and the US, is actually getting to know people.
Absolutely.
So what would, if you were gonna give somebody some advice to how to start building these relationships, what would the very first step be for an introvert or an extrovert?
Well, so that comes from my background in law enforcement, is to observe. So even before you approach people, even while you're in your home or while you're walking out, be observant at what's going on. What's going on in the world? What's going on around you? What's going on in the temperature, the environment, full moon? What's going on? Because when you step out that door and you come out to people, you have to think about what they're going on in their lives, what's their life for them, so that way when you approach them, and first of all, when you're observing people, you look them in the eye and you look at them and you smile, because the first thing in protection is, the person who makes eye contact and keeps eye contact, I mean, not like eye contact like that, like just eye contact, is the person who's usually the safest. Because if someone is out to create harm, if you're looking at them, they don't want to mess with you, because you look confident, you look secure, and you got a good look. And so if they're up to no good, they'll dismiss themselves and turn away. Or if they're shy, they may turn away. They may be just a really awesome person who's shy, but they usually, if they're shy, they'll look up again. They'll do the coy glances, and you can connect that way. And then once you're aware of their, what's going on, and you smile, and when you smile at people, this is contagious.
It
People
is.
love being smiled at, and they smile back, and you just saying whatever comes out of your mouth. Hello, oh, what do you buy? If you're at the grocery store, oh, I see blueberries are on sale. You got a good deal there. Ooh, somebody's having a party tonight, or ooh, ice cream. That's my favorite. It just creates conversation, and then asking people about themselves. Pretty much what you're doing here, Jesse.
Within reason, right?
Within reason.
I think I think what you're describing really comes down to serving people. And I've had a lot of great conversations on the show, and one of the people I talked to, he's a body language expert, and he talked about acknowledging who they are. And I think that's really a great way to make that connection, right? You acknowledge who they are, because a lot of people don't get any acknowledgement at all. With the Red Carpet Connection, what's your goals in the future with it? What do you want to actually expand out to, or do you want to expand? Are you big enough already?
Well, in size, I'm big enough. I'd actually like to be less size. personal size. I've been eating a lot during COVID, so I need to get out and start moving around more. But
I think we
for
all
the
do.
business, for the business, I'm always happy. I'm always open for growth and expansion, and I'm able to bring in other people and partner with other people to address people's needs. That's how our business became more than just publicity. So we do publishing now, we do business consulting, we help with social media, we help with sponsorship. It became a growth by people saying, I need help with this. And I'm very huge proponent of service. And I'm also a proponent of when someone whines, the play on words, bring a cheese plate. So if someone's griping and complaining about something, whining, then I want them to bring a cheese plate. And to me, a cheese plate is something hearty that's a possible solution to go along with that. And so, having worked in law enforcement, I really have this in my head. I'm always, I don't know if this was a born trait or a learned trait or what, or a combination thereof, but I like to solve problems, and it doesn't have to be a problem to be solved. So, like, someone might be saying, I'm not sure whether I want a blue popsicle or a red popsicle. I'll help you solve that, even though it's not a problem. It's not life or death, or nothing's going to happen to you bad if you do one or the other necessarily. But I like to come up with plausible ways to take action and implement them quickly. And so by doing that, having that emergency management background and skill set helps people in all areas of their life. And I think that's what people like about me, because I mean, my whole world, people, if they don't know what to do, they call me. So I get calls from people for all kinds of things that may not even necessarily be in my wheelhouse, or they don't know. They call me anyways, and it works. Well, that's how you and I met, Jesse, kind of indirectly.
It is. Yep.
Yeah.
I put how did we meet? It's been 2 days.
It's been 2 days. Actually, I think it was yesterday. I don't know that it was.
Was it?
And we've only known each other a day. I feel like I've known him for a really long time. And it's because quick, fast relationship. I mean, we didn't get to make eye contact, but we made eye contact with each other's words and faces through Facebook. He was on a podcast platform and talking about his show. And I, because I run I also run that. I run the Red Carpet Connection. Let me get that out of my mouth. And I also am executive director of the Keep Smiling movement. And right now we have 114 authors and another 45 people who are waiting for their books to be published. And as a love on them for being authors with the Keep Smiling movement, for their donations and being part of the movement and doing these books, we give them a little dose of hope with getting them more publicity at first. And so I need programming for them to get them on so that they can be seen for who they are, their regular businesses, and their participation in the Keep Smiling movement. I reached out to Jesse, and within 20 minutes, he and I came up with a plan of attack, took action, implemented it, and here we are.
And now every Friday for the next 5 months, you're probably going to hear a lot about the Keep Smiling movement, right?
Well,
So-
you know, and just an attachment. So people will be talking about themselves and their business, but they'll be authors and so forth.
Yeah.
And that's because we've taken over 10,000 Keep Smiling photos. Ken Rochon is the founder, a co-founder with Barry Shore, and then of course me. And then we have a COO, Crystal Richardson now. And it's really become it's really huge. It's becoming viral. We're already in 27 languages. Check this out here. Like these are all in multiple
Holy cow.
languages. Yeah. And oh, that's Spanish.
Greek.
I don't speak Spanish,
Well,
but
that's Spanish. Yep.
yeah. My maiden name is Benavides, but I never learned Spanish, unfortunately. And English, Keep Smiling. But you'll hear more because you're going to be interviewing Ken Rochon today and Barry Shore.
Yep.
And those are the two co-founders. So feel free to mention me. I think they'll have a clue who I am.
So with Keep Smiling, what is the purpose of Keep Smiling? What's the real nitty gritty of it? The point.
Yeah, so the point of it is we're a mental health organization determined to spread a dose of hope through smiles. So a dose of hope stands for dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. And that's what happens when you smile. You literally, your body downlets these neurotransmitters that allow you to feel good, feel loved, feel valuable, and to this overall joy that can come within you. Even if you're feeling crappy and you fake it, as long as you pull in the eyes in a full Duchenne, it really allows that to exude and you feel better, even when it's pushed upon you, because although your neurotransmitters make you smile, your smile makes your neurotransmitters come out. So it's a cyclic loop. And last year, 264 million people were diagnosed with depression, and 800,000 people took their own life, and that's way too many, and so and only because they felt like no one cared about them and they felt like they didn't matter. And with what's going on in the world right now, oh my gosh, we need to let people know that they matter. You are important. If you're listening to this and you wondered if anybody even cares, Jesse and I do. We care. The Keep Smiling movement, we care. So go to thekeepsmilingmovement.com, get a free download of an ebook, and hang out with us. You can hang out with us too on our ambassadors page. It's the Keep Smiling Ambassadors, the Keep Smiling Ambassadors on Facebook, and you can hang out with 2,000 other happy people.
and I'll be joining over there as well. So
yes,
one of the big problems for a lot of people is the mental health issue, right? And people say, well, just get over it. Sometimes you can't just get over it, but knowing that there's somebody there to help out is a huge thing for a lot of people. Yeah. So if people need to reach out, feel free to reach out.
Yeah, we don't expect people to get over it. We expect them to grieve, live out, feel frustrated, whatever emotion that you're having. Mm-hmm. We want you to, that's your emotion and you have the right to have it. And we also would like to help be present in you making a choice of how much that negative feeling continues to dictate the course of your day. So you can have something really crappy happen and you can choose, do I want this? When people say, oh, the whole day is going to be bad, I got up on the wrong side of the bed, or I got up on the wrong side of the bed, that happened, and now I'm excited because I get to change the course of this day to let that affect me only as much as I choose. And so we want them to choose to be positive and think of ways that they can counteract that to bring them back into joy.
It's kind of like the reset button on an old school Nintendo. You hit the reset button and it's a brand new game. Maybe it's not back to the start, but at least you can try again. We're at 24 minutes already. Holy cow. This went quick, didn't it?
I need to be on every day.
So with the Red Carpet Connection, for those of you fellow podcasters that watch or fellow, I'm not a celebrity, but the celebrities that watch, because I do have like 4 celebrities that watch, which is crazy.
Nice.
Where can people contact you? Can they contact you at the redcarpetconnection.com?
Yeah, theredcarpetconnection.com. Andrea Adams Miller. And you can get all my information from there. I'm on all the social media platforms. And then if you go to theredcarpetconnection.com/free gift, I have gifts for you. So it's actually a full publicity assessment. I'm going to sneeze all of a sudden. So if all of a sudden I hit the camera, that's where I went.
That's okay.
That free gift is so that you can do a 7-day publicity challenge for Living Red. And by the way, Red has relevance. So RED is an acronym for relevance, enthusiasm, and delivery. So when you hit all three, you hit your target market every time. And Jesse, this has some cool adage to my background in law enforcement, because when I went through my training for my police officer certification to shoot, you had to, be certified. And I was the first girl to pass and the first person to get 100%. So when I talk about taking action and hitting my target mark, I mean it. So I'm out to do big things in the world, and I invite you all to come along. And as far as celebrities who are watching, come join the fun. We hang out with celebrities all the time on red carpets and so forth. We'll start doing that again soon. But we have Quincy Jones holding a Keep Smiling card, Matthew McConaughey, Elle McPherson, really cool, awesome people. Dean Hankey, we got him.
Do you?
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell Dean about that. Talk to you.
Yeah.
So with the publicity stuff, you don't have to be a celebrity, right? It could be just a small business that needs to get local help and stuff like that.
You may become a local celebrity by working with me. Then that's our whole intention, is that we want to make sure that everybody knows your name. We'll sing a little bit of Cheers there. It was a little off, but that's okay. It was a little close. Yeah. Hey, just go with it, Jesse. Go. And the reason is because when we put you in the spotlight, then people recognize you and know who you are. And that's because chances are you have a product or service or a message that really could serve someone else's life, and they're waiting for you. And if I don't get you out there and tell them that what you've got and what you've got going on, and if you're not bold enough to do it yourself, then it's someone who needs you, they're lost. And someone their business may fail, their marriage may fail, their kids may not be parented, their software might not be able to do the job, they might even take their life, all because they didn't have what you have to offer the world. And that's what I'm about, is getting behind other people and helping spread the word.
A lot of people are afraid to spread that word, or they're worried that it's really complicated. And honestly, it's not. Sometimes it's just a press release to the TV station. They'll get you on TV doing a conversation like this, or even just an email over to me to do a conversation like this. Now, I'm probably not great for local business, but worldwide, you're darn right.
Well, local
Andrea,
businesses, if they see their social media, so everything is an opportunity. Yeah.
That's true. Andrea, we are at 27 minutes. I always end the show with a simple question. And that question is, other than this interview, because let's face it, mediocre at best, but what's one thing you've done today to make yourself happy?
Okay. So the first thing I did is I got up and answered texts from Ken Rochon about the Keep Smiling movement, because that makes me happy. So work makes me happy because I love it. And then after that, I made my husband get up and watch TV with me, because I love to watch Forensic Files and see if I can figure out what's happening before it's done, because I miss my law enforcement days. And then I did about 5 other things to make myself happy. And soon I'll go swimming, because that makes me happy too.
That's fantastic. It's good to have all that stuff. Before we end off, once more, the Red Carpet Connection.com and free gift for the people that want the free gift, and keepsmilingmovement.com are your 2 sites. And you have the Facebook group. What's the Facebook group called again for Keep Smiling?
Yeah, the Keep Smiling Ambassadors.
Okay, awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to end the show. Andrea, we end in one simple way. I'm going to ask you to wave bye-bye while I hit the end broadcast, and we'll be all done.
Bye.
There we go.